But there are some things that are impediments to making that transition from having the great ideas into businesses. And there are two main things. One, access to financing, and there was a session yesterday on that. The traditional sources of capital in Jamaica are difficult for the majority of young persons who have an idea and want to build a business. If you go to a bank, they're going to ask you if you have collateral. And in most cases, you won't, unless if you're fortunate to have a family that can provide that. And unfortunately, we haven't gotten to the stage where our intellectual assets are valued in a way that banks are comfortable taking that as collateral. So the inability to finance ideas to convert them into ventures is a major issue. Now, there are two things we're doing. One, the Development Bank of Jamaica has started a program to put together what we call a venture capital ecosystem, which is really to put in place the infrastructure to facilitate a venture capital industry. There is a consultant who has already been engaged and has been working on that. And we should have, by the end of this year, a detailed report outlining all the stages of what we need to do. Without that, we can't attract large-scale venture capital funding because persons are not going to invest venture capital if there is no environment or infrastructure to facilitate that. Secondly, we already, on an informal basis, we have a number of persons who have an interest and are funding as angels into small tech businesses. But it is done very loosely, very informally, based on if someone makes contact with that person. We're trying to formalize that, to provide a platform and an environment for those persons who have the financing to be able to invest in these businesses. And that comes to the second part, the second impediment that exists, which is the lack of business support or incubator type services for these youngsters. Having a good idea is good, but there's no monopoly on good ideas. Anybody can have a good idea. Your ability to execute is what will differentiate you. And we have to provide a platform for persons who have good ideas but who know nothing about business, who can't develop a business plan or a marketing plan, who know nothing about accounting or finance, to give them that level of business support. The Technology Innovation Center up at UTech is the first incubator that started. The University of the West Indies, and I caught the back end of Dr. Matt Norton yesterday. They have developed a tech park at the university. They have a major business process outsourcing firm that has taken the majority of the space there. They have a software developer, and they have reserved part of that space for incubator type services. So you can apply, you can go in, they will sit down with you, work out your business plan, and provide the support to ensure that you actually build a successful business. What we want to do is to create the environment where both we will provide the incubator and business type support, and that in turn will facilitate persons with capital who want to invest. And the most powerful thing, I just came back from Chile where we had a delegation of 10 persons looking at something called Startup Chile, which is a program that started 2 years ago to invite entrepreneurs into their country. There's power in what they call community, where you have persons with ideas, like-minded and others may not be like-minded, but they are in a physical space where they can discuss their business ideas, where you'll have somebody who would provide the support, who will indicate different timelines and milestones that they have to achieve. What we're going to do, we're going to build what we call Startup Jamaica. We'll find a location, it will be an open space, you'll come in, you'll apply. The government's role here will probably just be, if it's a government building, to provide the space. We'll have a private sector player who will either be the incubator manager or the accelerator that you'll apply to. And we will then bring in those funders who already exist because they are out there to finance some of these ventures. We are extremely confident with the components that already exist that we have the making of a tech industry in Jamaica, but they have to be brought together and all together. And we also have to ensure that in doing that, that we make it easy and simple for these businesses to operate. And there are still many challenges in that regard. So we're going to be putting together a program that we will call Startup Jamaica to facilitate these youngsters, primarily in the tech industry, but not exclusive to the tech industry, where from the stage of an idea, you can come into one of our incubator type facilities and you'll be given the guidance to take your idea to a proper business that can be sold, or a business that has the potential to generate foreign exchange for you and the country. So that is what we're doing to facilitate the entrepreneurship and innovation. We believe that we, as a country, based on our location, the quality of our infrastructure, that we have the potential to be the innovation and entrepreneurship capital of the Caribbean region. And already significant work has started to facilitate that. And you'll be hearing more about that in the next couple of weeks as we develop the program. So those are some of the things we're doing, both on the energy side and the ICT side. And I thank you for your attention.